Imagine you are sitting across from a stranger in a quiet, windowless room. On the table between you lies $100 in crisp $10 bills. A voice over an intercom explains the rules of this simple game. The stranger is given the power to decide how to split that money with you. They can offer you any amount, from a single dollar to the full 100. But there is a catch. You have only two choices. You can accept the offer, in which case you both walk away with the cash as proposed, or you can reject the offer. If you reject it, the money is taken away, and neither of you receives a single cent. The stranger looks you in the eye and calmly offers you $10, keeping 90 for themselves. Mathematically, the choice is clear. $10 is better than $0. A rational machine would take the money every single time. But you? You feel a heat rising in your chest. Your pulse quickens. You look at that $10 bill as if it were an insult rather than a gift. You look the stranger in the eye and you say no. You just paid $90 of potential wealth just to ensure that the stranger gets nothing. You have just committed an act of financial suicide to punish perceived unfairness. Why would our brains be wired to behave so irrationally? Why does a mere idea, the idea of fairness, carry more weight in our biology than the cold, hard utility of survival and resources? This is the mystery of the social brain, a hidden engine that governs every interaction you have, from the way you buy a cup of coffee to the way global empires are built and broken. To understand why you would throw away that money, we have to travel deep into the architecture of the human mind, down past the layers of logic and language, into the ancient, pulsing heart of the brainstem. This is where we find the evolutionary engine of valuation. Millions of years ago, our ancestors needed a way to navigate a world of limited resources. Should I eat this berry? Should I chase that rabbit? Should I run from that shadow? The brain needed a common currency to compare these vastly different things. You cannot easily compare an orange to a windshield, or a warm cave to a sharp spear. They are what scientists call immiscible. They do not mix. So, the brain evolved a trick. It converts every experience into a single scale of value, powered by a chemical messenger called dopamine. This dopamine system, rooted in the brainstem and branching out like a tree through the rest of the cortex, is the master accountant of your existence. When you find food, salt, or a potential mate, these neurons fire, delivering a reward that tells the rest of your brain, "This is good, do this again." This system is the reason you stay alive. It is the reason you seek out the things that sustain your biology. But in humans, something remarkable happened. This system was hijacked by the social world. We did not just evolve to value calories. We evolved to value the opinions and actions of other people. Why? Because for a primate on the African savanna, being alone was a death sentence. To be cast out of the tribe was to be at the mercy of predators and the elements. Survival depended on the group, and the group depended on a delicate balance of cooperation and fairness. If a member of your tribe took more than their share, they were not just a nuisance. They were a threat to your very life. The sting you feel when someone offers you an unfair split in a game is an echo of that ancient survival instinct. Your brain is not seeing a lost $10. It is seeing a social predator who needs to be checked, even at a cost to yourself. This brings us to a behavioral superpower that is unique to our species. We have the ability to deny every single instinct for survival for the sake of an abstract idea. Oh, think about that for a moment. No other creature on this planet will starve itself or walk into fire for a concept like honor or justice or a belief in the afterlife. In the late 90s, a notorious group of people, many of them highly educated with college degrees, committed mass suicide because they believed a spaceship was hiding in the tail of a passing comet, waiting to take them to a higher level of existence. It is a profound tragedy, but it reveals something startling about the machinery of our minds. The very same dopamine systems that are designed to make you chase food and salt were redeployed to assign value to a purely abstract thought. We can value an idea more than we value our own heartbeats. This valuation system is the same one that becomes hijacked by drugs of abuse. Whether it is a chemical substance or a digital notification on a screen, these things tap into the brainstem and rewire the scale. They make the drug or the symbol more valuable than anything else, more valuable than family, than health, than life itself. And we see this play out in high-stakes systemic examples every day. Consider the trillion-dollar giants of the tech world. They are not just selling software, they are selling hits of social valuation. Every like, every share, every comment is a signal that your brain processes, using the same ancient circuitry that once helped your ancestors find water. These companies have mastered the art of social engineering by turning our need for social standing into a digital currency. On a more mundane level, think about your daily habits. Why do you buy a specific brand of coffee or wear a particular style of shoe? It is rarely just about the caffeine or the comfort. It is about the subtle signals you are sending to the world and the way your brain values those signals. You are constantly managing your image in the minds of others, often without even realizing it. For decades, we were blind to the inner workings of this social engine. We could only observe behavior from the outside, like watching a clock without being able to see the gears. But 20 years ago, a revolution began. We discovered we could eavesdrop on the healthy human brain using a technology called functional magnetic resonance imaging. You might have seen the grainy, grayscale images of a brain scan, but those are just snapshots frozen in time. Functional imaging is different. It allows us to create microscopic blood flow movies of the brain in action. You see, when a part of your brain works harder, when you are remembering a face, or getting angry, or thinking about your mother-in-law, that area needs more fuel. The brain directs more blood to those active sites. By filming this blood flow, we get a proxy for the software of the mind. Suddenly, we had a new experimental subject, the healthy human being. We could put people in these machines and watch their brains light up as they made decisions. But there was a limitation. For a long time, we studied brains in isolation. We would put one person in a scanner and have them play a game against a computer. But a computer is not a person. You do not care if a computer is unfair to you. You do not feel the same sting of betrayal or the same warmth of cooperation. To truly understand the social brain, we had to see two brains interacting at the same time. This led to the development of what we call hyperscanning. By linking multiple magnetic resonance imaging machines together over the internet, across cities, across oceans, we can synchronize them so that two people are playing a social game while we record both of their brains simultaneously. We are no longer looking at an individual mind. We are looking at the space between minds. We are watching the way one person's brain activity ripples into another's. We have discovered that we are profoundly social creatures, even when we are alone. Your mind is not a solitary fortress. It is a node in a vast, invisible network. You often do not even know who you are until you see yourself reflected in the interaction with another person, whether they are a friend, an enemy, or a total stranger. In these social exchanges, humans act as what we call social canaries. In the old days of mining, workers would carry a canary into the tunnels. If dangerous gases like carbon monoxide began to build up, the bird, with its more sensitive respiratory system, would swoon or die before the humans felt a thing. It was an early warning system. Oh? We have found that the human brain acts in much the same way during social interactions. We are incredibly sensitive to the signals of others. We have massive amounts of processing power dedicated just to reading a face. Imagine you see a photograph of a 3-month-old baby. Even though she cannot speak or do calculus, you can look at one of her eyes and read curiosity, or look at the other and see a hint of surprise. You can look at a couple in a photograph and instantly sense whether they are sharing a moment of genuine connection, or if there is a hidden tension, a silent punch to the face waiting to happen as soon as the camera is put away. We bring this enormous sensitivity to every game we play. In the ultimatum game, the one where you were offered $10 out of 100, we see this canary effect in action. When people are treated unfairly, their brains show a specific pattern of activity, often in areas associated with disgust and emotional pain. But what is even more fascinating is what happens in the brain of the person making the offer. They are performing what we call a depth of thought assay. They are trying to model what is inside your head. They are asking themselves, what does this person expect of me? How will they react if I am greedy? They are sending signals to manage their image in your mind, much like you would during a job interview. You sit across a desk, and you know the interviewer has a certain image of you. You carefully choose your words and gestures to move that image from where it is to where you want it to be. We are so good at this that we do not even notice the incredible amount of biological computation it requires. However, this social superpower has its limits. There are moments when the engine stalls or the gears grind. We have found that by using these economic games as scientific probes, we can identify specific patterns in how people interact. We can convert these patterns into mathematical models that describe the boundaries of healthy cognition. And this is where the research becomes truly groundbreaking. By putting people with classically defined mental illnesses, such as major depression, autism spectrum disorder, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, into these social interactions, we can use the healthy partner as a biosensor. The way a healthy person reacts to someone with a mental illness tells us something profound about the underlying software of that illness. It gives us a new lexicon, a mathematical way to characterize the brain that goes beyond just observing symptoms. It allows us to see the glitch in the social exchange itself. But we must be careful. These models are not perfect. There are times when the social brain's bias toward fairness or cooperation can backfire. In a hyper-competitive modern world, our ancient need for tribal belonging can be exploited to create deep divisions. The same mechanism that makes us cooperate with our neighbors can make us irrationally hostile to those we perceive as other. Our sensitivity to social signals can lead to crippling anxiety or the madness of the crowd, where we abandon our individual logic to follow a destructive group consensus. The canary can sometimes be fooled by a false signal. We are only at the beginning of this journey. We are building a global network of scanners, from Virginia to London and beyond, to gather the data needed to map the human social experience on a truly massive scale. We are trying to understand the invisible threads that tie us together, the shared software that makes us human. It is a quest to redefine our understanding of the self. For too long, we thought of the mind as something that exists purely inside the skull. But the truth is, your mind is expressed in other people. It is built out of the properties that allow you to survive, not just in the physical world, but in the social world. As you go about your day, I invite you to perform an audit of your own brain. The next time you feel a surge of anger at a perceived slight, or the next time you find yourself trying to impress a stranger, ask yourself, what is my brainstem trying to achieve right now? What value is it assigning to this moment? Recognize the ancient machinery at work. You are a social canary, constantly sensing the atmosphere of the minds around you. You are part of a simultaneous interaction that has been running for millions of years. This is the first step in using the insights of the interacting brain to gain a deeper understanding of who we are and how we can heal. Follow us as we continue to dive deeper into the hidden engines of the mind. There is so much more to uncover in the darkness of the mind. Are you ready to see what the canary sees?